Hello, hello. We are almost ready. Good night. Oh, you're back. That's okay. We're live.
We're live?
We're live.
Cha-ching. I need some noise on my
Oh, sure.
Hey, I just saw your text. Huh? I just saw your text.
Oh,
Is he the text right away?
Oh.
Is he the text right away?
No.
No.
Dude, what the fuck do you want? You just got back in.
Hey, come here. Girl, it's okay. That is intrigued. Let's go on here. Hey! Don't be doing that. No, sir. How do you open doors? That's crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. You really cannot be doing that right now. What? There's nothing wrong. I can't open the door. What? Oh my goodness. You can peek outside if you want. Look. What? Look. I'm not gonna go outside. Because look outside. I don't know. Sorry. We'll take him. Is it cool? I think he's a pit bull. I don't know. All I know is that and I love him.
Test, test.
Oh shoot, wait, speak again?
Hello? Test, test. Hello, hello, hello. Yup. Hello? Yup. Okay, bet.
Sick. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Testing.
Oh no, Malik's hosting. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Take a seat, get comfy, all that fun stuff. Hello. Oh, there we go. Right. Here we go. Welcome to Comedy on the Corner. My name is Maleka. Tonight we have 5 wonderful today for you all. So get ready to get comfy, giggle a little bit, have a laugh, have a gab. First up, we have Mr. Christopher Grant. Give it up for Chris, everyone.
Hey, don't be using my fucking government name. Okay, it's actually Planet Christian. Who don't know. Well, all right. Let me sit down. Okay, yeah. That we I live here. Part of the house. So yeah, you guys can hear me, right? Okay. All right. Can I get a booyah? All right. Okay. So we're starting off. I'm from Portsmouth. P-Town? See, P-City. Like, what the fuck? Trying to call that, niggas be call that shit P-City. Like, no, P-City. P-Town? Like, that shit, like, come on, like, hey, yo. I'll take your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey. But, like, P-City? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Okay. But anyway, that's like the top 5 most dangerous cities in Virginia, because, if you couldn't tell, I'm about that shit. Oh, okay, alright, silence, alright, but anyways, yeah, so like, believe it or not, I was at a mental hospital once, and like, they were like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, yo, I'm from Portsmouth, and they're like, whoa, it's like the Gaza Strip, and like, this was like right when that shit started out, so I was like, ha ha ha, and it was like 5 a.m. in the morning, so I was like, ha ha, yeah, but like, we were in Virginia Beach, like, what are you talking about, like, that just goes to show that, like, niggas from Virginia Beach are soft. I'm sorry if anyone here, but like, Virginia Beach don't got no, like, cool, like, name, like, P-Town, but you got fucking, you got, like, Nova, like, I'll give it, I hate Nova, but, like, Nova sounds cool, like, just say Nova, it just, like, rolls off the tongue, like, shout out, who's from Nova? Yeah, honestly, like, people from Nova, I'm gonna leave that there, y'all know who y'all are, yeah, but, okay. Okay, so yeah. So anyways, I'm from Portsmouth. It's hard as fuck. But I'm from the soft spot, like Churchland. If you can't tell from the name, it's called Churchland. Like, yeah, fuck. Yeah. Anyways, that shit's called Churchland. Churchland, P-Town. The most dangerous part is a neighborhood called Peachtree. You should be in fear right now. Niggas would, like, step into Peachtree, just bow, 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 bow. Like, hey, watch out. Nigga be like, hey, bro, y'all trying to go hang out at Peachtree? Like, hell nah. Like, what is this, like, fucking Legend of Zelda? Like, that shit sound like a boss level or some shit. But anyways, niggas be trying to test my gangster because, like, because of the, I'm gonna be honest, because of the way I talk, like, niggas be like, oh, like, Yeah. Shout out the fire department. Niggas be trying to test my gangster, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, why? Like, I'm from Portsmouth, dog. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? So, like, here's the story of someone trying to test my gangster. Okay, so, like, I pulled up to this Taco Bell, and I was like, yo, let me get a steak grilled cheese burrito. And I hear from the voice, they're like, you want a beef grilled cheese burrito? And I'm like, nah. You get like a steak grilled cheese burrito for real. And they're like, all right, that's gonna be a beef grilled cheese burrito. And I'm like, bro, like, nah. I want a steak burrito. And they're like, all right, give me one sec. That would be a beef cheese burrito. Honestly, it was late at night. They like closed in like 10 minutes, some shit like that. So like, I'm like, yo, all right, I'll take the beef grilled cheese burrito. I pull up to the drive-thru. You know, I was like, fuck it, we gonna get the beef burrito. That shit's like 50 cents less anyways. It's a win. You know, maybe they were looking out for me for real. But then I pull up to the drive-thru, and I close my eye. Someone's looking at me like there's this chick that works at Taco Bell, and she's looking at me in the corner of my eye, and like there's like another nigga, and he's like taking my money and stuff like that. But I'm guessing this chick was the one that was on like the intercom. And I like see her like eyeing me, and I'm like, okay, like I don't really make eye contact or anything like that. But I'm like assuming like maybe like, oh, maybe she wants my number, you know, maybe I'm looking good tonight or something like that. You know, like, but like, she says, hey you, can I ask you something? And I'm like, okay. She's gonna be like, can I get your number? And I'm gonna be like, nah, sorry, like, nah, I'm not feeling it for real. But then she's like, why do you look so scared? I was like, yeah. She was like, why do you look so scared? And honestly, I froze. I'm not gonna lie. I froze up. Like, there's like a high schooler chick like saying, why am I scared? All right, I'm sorry guys. This is a traumatic story for me. I don't think I can keep going on. People be trying to test my gangster anyways. Like, and she was like, yo, what, like, you anxious or something? And I'm like, I just took my food and left. I had to dip out for real, cause like she did test my gangster, and I wasn't gangster for real. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, okay, all right. That's the testing my gangster bit. Now we got some racism coming up for you guys. Yeah, clap it up, guys. Those are the real heroes. Me, I'm bomb right now, but those guys, they're putting them out, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, okay. So, you know, like, racists are like some of the most funny people I know, you know? Like, there's some like comedy. Wait, no. There's probably some people in the room or in the backyard that are a little racist, you know. But I bet they're probably funny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah, I see y'all. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, this white girl, she put a picture of a monkey as my contact photo. She was actually in the crowd. Yeah, boo her. Can I get a boo? Thank you. Cause like, what the hell? She's gonna be mad cause like she like mixed with Puerto Rican and shit, but like aren't like all white people mixed with something, you know what I mean? Like, let's be honest here. Like, come on. Everybody's like, hey, everybody that had that one friend that was like, they went through their like Native American arc, they discovered that shit, they was like it was like, yo, this is a new identity for real. They start like picking up rocks and shit, trying to carve arrows. Like, what the hell, bro? Like, go inside, play Call of Duty, bro. Anyways, yeah. But like, Y'all fuck with Logic? What happened to Logic for real? Everybody know a nigga. Everybody know a nigga that look like Logic nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, what's up with that? Like, all right, okay, wait. There was a point to this. Oh yeah, this nigga tried to call me light skinned the other day. Honestly, nah. Maybe I might act like a light skin a little bit, but I definitely don't look like a light skin. It's a completely different thing. You know, y'all see that nigga with the locks back there? That nigga look more light skinned than me. Would y'all not agree? You know, obviously the lighter one, nigga. Like, no. Anyway, so yeah, y'all ever lived with anyone that was a little racist? Put your hand up if you lived with someone that was a little racist. I didn't did it. Oh. Damn, okay, just me? Fuck. Alright. You know, yeah. That was a time. I will say that. That nigga was not cool for real. Low-key a loser. But he was funny. I won't lie. He was funny. He was a loser, but he was funny. That's like the point I'm trying to say. Like, we were talking about movies, and this nigga said, hey, bro, like, did you really like Black Panther? Alright, that's the end of my set. Alright, bye.
All right, that was something. Give it up for Chris again, guys. Woohoo! Yay! All right, next up we have Alicia Quintero. Give it up for Alicia, everyone. Oops. Thank you. I wonder if I stand somewhere different, you could hear me better. Alicia! How are you guys doing tonight? I'm so excited to be here. It's working. Yay! I will say though, this is a cool place, right? It does kind of seem like the place, like, if I were to go home with somebody, it'd be a little bit weird. Like the 29-year-old that like dates the 19-year-old student. It's legal, but should it be? Whoa. Okay, we're not on the same page. Also, like, if I brought you home, I'm like, oh, I'm going home with like the interesting older girl, and then my dad lives with me. I'm already oversharing, and I just got up here. Cool. That's how you age, actually. That's why I'm getting older, is because I'm oversharing. So if you want to stay young, do that. All right, let's do some actual stuff. My name is Alethea. I'm glad somebody asked. And I usually go by Leaf, right? And this is simply because of white people, really. They struggle with my name. They ruin everything. My name included. They took that from me, which is fucked. They say Alethea, okay? And then, let's see. I work at a restaurant. This is a true story. The other week, the first table I ever, like, introduced myself by name, I was like, hey, how are you guys doing? My name's Alethea. Nice to meet you. And the white guy was like, wait, what? Like, fuck me, Sarah. Alethea, and like we did like a 15-minute one-on-one. I'm like going over like grammatically, somatically, you know, I think we're on the right page. And then by the end, he's like feeling confident. He's like, Alicia. Fuck, yeah, okay. I'm Alicia, cool. And I did say white people ruin everything. And I'm sure some of you are like, aren't you white? Well, kind of. I am half Puerto Rican. I'm not the one that did the weird thing in his phone. It's not me. I was like, wait, do I have this guy on my phone? No, that wasn't me. Half Puerto Rican, and I did say I live with my dad. That's a true story. He's Puerto Rican too, if you could believe it. But he's more of like an ashy gray type. You know, we come in all shapes and sizes. Like Labubu's. I wasn't going to say that, and I was like, that's really going to age me, and I did it anyways. It came to my head. So we come in all shapes and sizes. My dad's like an ashy gray brown Puerto Rican, if you could believe it. And that's because he doesn't leave the house, and that's sad, right? But when he does leave the house, we know, okay? He leaves the house. He's ashy gray. He goes to the gym. He uses the tanning bed at the gym, and then ICE gets called. They're like, there's a brown guy here. Nobody brown came into the building, and I'm like, he's from here. He has papers. And they're like, we don't really care about that. We don't look at those things. They're like, we check skin and skin brown. So I'm like, you know what? I need a weekend. Wrap them up, boys. You got one. I need a weekend. Is it still going in and out a little bit? Okay, cool. Because like from right here, it sounds okay. Cool. So yeah, they take my dad. Good on me. I mean, it's not funny to talk about. This is real stuff, but it's, what can you do? Fuck. All right, anyways, I live with my dad again. It's not great. And we don't get along. We don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. There are some Puerto Ricans that did. We don't know where they're voting, right? Sus. But one thing that we do bond over is like movies. So I was like, he likes violence. I'm like, sure, I'll pretend because I want him to like me. We were watching a movie the other day. It was like Wolverine, Deadpool. Great movie. Really funny, right? But there is a bit in there about pegging. You guys know what that is? Yeah, you do. I can tell. I know somebody that knows pegging. But my dad's like, what's that? I'm like, not the conversation I really wanted to have with him, especially like after his long weekend with ice. I'm like, he doesn't really need more trauma, but I'm like, open up and I'll teach you, you know. He's a hands-on learner, but he's a quick learner. He only needed it once, and then now he knows what pegging is. He won't ask again. He relies on AI, and I don't know if that's better, but he hasn't talked about pegging ever again. So we're in a weird space, my dad and I, after this incident. But the good thing about guys is if you ever want to like not want to fuck a guy again, just watch them put together something that's really complicated. So the other day, like I heard him struggling downstairs. He was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna beat you to death. He's like talking about electric bike that he got off Amazon. I'm like, well, I never want to fuck my dad again. Guys. Every time I talk about fucking my dad, I'm like, I'm losing a year off my life. It's like eating a hot dog. I don't do it for me, though. I do it for you, okay? And it was just that once. It was just... Anybody mentally ill here? Yeah? Cool. Same. I'm in therapy. You guys are like, thank God. I go to therapy once a week. I'm trying to get ahead of the issue. And my therapist is like, you should probably come twice a week. Right. And I'm like, well, she wants to fuck me. It's that's why, you know, it's like a Tony Soprano situation. I'm Tony. She's like, come see me. No. It's actually because, if you could believe this, guys, this is real. My last therapist before this, she like took a 4-month break. Illegal. Okay? If I'm going to you for like abandonment issues and you're leaving for 4 months, illegal. So I did what anybody in my position would do. I messaged her and I was like, well, if you don't see me, I'll kill myself. Classic, like, if you break up with me, I'll kill myself. But she didn't get it. Good thing I'm the one doing comedy. They're not the only ones that could take notes, you know what I mean? No. Speaking of killing myself, another true story, I was checking out at Kroger the other day. Killed myself already. And the cashier behind the register was like, are you a nurse? You have that look. Well, I was like, no, but also don't really love that last part. Could you elaborate on that? And she's like, well, you know, I lived next to a nurse, and she was a nurse during COVID. She saw a lot of shit, a lot of dead bodies. So one day she went out front and killed herself. I was like, damn, maybe I do have that look. I'm like, you've been talking to my therapist? You fucking sneaky ass bitch? No. I'm healing. Okay, we're healing. I think the nature is healing. Like the bush is back. You guys do bush here? Growing bush? Bush, yeah. Bush, see? God, fuck. Damn. Well, bush is back, okay? People are growing it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm single, I'm celibate, it's cold outside. Let's see what she can do. Let's see what she can do. Shamed immediately in my household. Not my dad this time. That was a one-time thing. I do live with a small human, and she came in, no boundaries. She was like, why is there hair there? That's weird. I was like, well, Bush is back. You didn't know? Bush is back. I mean, you didn't read? She's 4, she can't read. But that's still on her, like, you're not hip to the times. I don't care if she's 4. Yeah, I'm going to let that one sit. No. Okay. Moving in a slightly different direction, how do we feel about grooming? Grooming kids is bad, yeah? Always trying to go. Grooming kids is bad. Don't groom children, right? Well, what if the child is grooming you? What if she is? I mean, I think I'm in a weird situation. It's gradually gotten worse. It started off really sweet. You know, the 4-year-old I live with and had birth. One day was like, "You have beautiful boobies." I'm like, "Thank you. That's really nice." Somebody finally noticed. And then it kind of got worse. She'd be like, "You have big, beautiful boobies." And lately she's actually been kind of bouncing them. She wants to see them bounce, which is weird. I would like boundaries. I'm learning. We don't really do that. Don't do that. It's gotten worse as well. You know, like one day I just got out of the shower. She came in and she's like, "Hey, wet mommy." I'm like, "Whoa, what was that?" She's like, "Well, you're wet mommy." I'm like, "Not to you, little bitch." No, I would never say that to her. But I will take her in. And I will say, "She's grooming me." They're going to be like, "She's 4." And I'm like, "Well, you haven't seen what I've been going through." I was like, "Am I getting a light?" There's just somebody with a flashlight. Nice. All right, let's see. Yeah, living with the 4-year-old is kind of like, you guys can't relate to this. You guys like, shut up. You're old and you have a kid. And you're talking about weird things. Okay, living with the 4-year-old is weird. It's like a constant acid trip, or like I'm leading a little acid journey, and I've seen the drugs that she has, so it's like kind of weird that she's doing all that at 4, and she's grooming me. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Anyways, everything to her has happened last week, right? Like she was born last week. I don't know, and then everything's gonna happen next week. So like I'm gonna get a dog, I'm gonna get married, and I'm gonna die next week to her. So check in if you can. Make sure I'm alive. Cool. I got some head shakes. Like they're taking this really seriously. They're like, "Yes, we'll check in." All right, I'm gonna get off on one more. I'm trying to leave my house because the kid and the grooming and the dad fucking thing. I'm trying to meet people, and recently I've met this guy. You know, he's like a tatted up, hot guy with a mustache, long hair. And I'm like, they're not all perfect. What is this thing, right? And it was Magic the Gathering. He plays that. Are you guys familiar? Sam, cool. Yeah, they love this game. And he's like, "Let's talk about it all night." And I'm like, "Cool. You have to explain it to me like I'm 4." And he's like, "All right." He's like going through it, blah, blah, blah. I already get lost within like a second because it's stupid. And I'm like, "Go back." And he's like, "I'm not going to tell you everything unless you suck my dick." I'm like, "Whoa. You would talk to a 4-year-old like that? That's crazy." I give him my number, and now we're doing well. Yay! All right. Who's hosting? Cool. Thanks, everybody. My name's Leith, and this is your beautiful host.
Thank you, thank you. All right. Next up, we have Sam Nelson. Give it up for Sam, everybody.
Thank you. I'm bringing it over here because it seems like this is the safe zone. There's not a lot of us, so I'm going like youth pastor. You guys were you're just going to get premises for a second. Is Chris who just won, is he still out here? Where'd he go? Chris, I want to say thank you for bringing awareness to the fact that everyone from Virginia Beach is a pussy. So I'm from Norfolk. So the problem is that when I tell people I'm from Norfolk, like 2 months later, they're like, "Oh, you're from Virginia Beach." And I'm like, "I'm not from Virginia Beach. I'm from Norfolk." Because Norfolk and Portsmouth, they're both cities. You know, they're cities and things happen there. Virginia Beach, I don't know if you guys know this, Virginia Beach used to be a part of Norfolk, and then they split off, and part of that was because of white flight. Okay? So they were so scared of black people that they all ran away and opened like 30 surf shops. You know how racist you have to be to open a Quicksilver? All right, hold on. Sorry, I gotta pull up premises on my phone. Here's one. This is the 1970s. I hate my bitch. Okay, sorry. Is this working? Okay. Oh, thank you. I hate my bitch wife. And here's 2025. I hate my Virgo wife. You know? Awesome. Build-A-Bear is crazy. Have you guys been to Build-A-Bear? That's, of course, you've been to fucking... Sorry, everybody. Build-A-Bear's insane. They don't even let you stuff the bear. You don't even stuff the bear. Do you guys know that? They stuff the bear. You just choose the skin. Can you just ask for the skin? Can you just walk in and you're like, "Yeah, just the skin. No stuff." You just walk in there with like a plastic bag full of ground beef and you're like, "I've got it." Okay. Everything Everywhere All at Once is Bob's Burgers for Chinese people. That one's kind of specific, so sorry. From 1995 until 2008, the only type of swag white guys were allowed to have was being suicidal. Okay, let's see. There's a lot of misconceptions over. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the gladiatorial fights and stuff like that in ancient Rome. So basically, what would happen is one of these fighters would incapacitate the other. They'd be on the ground, and then basically the emperor or whoever the highest-ranking guy is would do either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Now in media, it's portrayed as a thumbs down if you want them killed and a thumbs up if you want to let them live. But that's actually not the historical case, okay? Because actually back in Rome, they would do a thumbs up if they wanted to let them, or if they wanted to kill them, and they do a thumbs down if they wanted to let them live. Which might not seem like a big deal, but it's really important to me because I would never want to thumb down my ass. Okay, thanks, Blake. I'm so sorry to do this to you people. Okay, is anybody here on SSRIs, serotonin, something, reuptake inhibitors? Anybody depressed? Okay, well, that's... I like that it makes it harder for you to come. I think that's a funny, like, part of it. That's cool. I wish it went the other way around, though. Like, you'd be so depressed that even just, like, walking around, you'd just be busting all the time. You're like, I don't know, I just have so much trouble getting out of bed. I take off the sheets, it's just like a snail house. I don't know. I can't go to the grocery store anymore. They ran out of wet floor signs. Okay, yeah, that. Oh man. Okay, I have a new one. So, do you guys have sex with people? This is you. All you got. Why is Blake the only one ever getting pussy? What's up, dude? I just have some advice for people. I just want to say, guys, if you are ever experiencing erectile dysfunction in any form, okay, I know what you're thinking. You have to tell the girl. You have to go, oh my God, oh no, this never happens. Oh my gosh, I promise this isn't on you, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. What women want in the bedroom is confidence, okay? So try this instead. You broke it! Why'd you do this to me? Okay, it works every time. Okay, they leave and then you can just jack off. Yeah. Man. How are you guys doing? Oh, great. God, I wish I could suck off that guy's massive hog. Blake, what joke should I do? Godzilla? Here, I'll close with that one. Do you have another one? Look at this guy. Can you believe this guy? He's not prepared for anything. What is it that you want? Get the hell out of here. Chinese averages? Okay. Oh, fuck. Now I gotta remember this. I'm sorry. There's usually not mufflers involved. Oh, my God. Okay. I wanted to make jokes that appeal more to average people. I don't know if I'm sure you guys are stand-up comics, so I'm sure you understand this. So I wanted to do some research. So I wanted to learn about the average person, okay? And guys, I got to say, the only thing that I really learned was that the average person is Chinese, and that their skin, if you roll it all out, can stretch for 22 square feet. Okay, so here's my relatable comedy. Don't you hate it when you're hitting the pussy from the back and you're Chinese? And she keeps farting, right? So you put your thumb in it, and then the pussy starts farting. Am I right? My skin stretches 22 square feet. Cool. Great selection. Thank you. You know, Blake, he's a real sweetheart. We like to have fun. But I gotta let you in on something, guys. I hate to be so sensitive up here, but I'm actually, I'm sober. Is anybody else here sober? No? That's fine. That's okay. Now, when you tell people that you're sober, like you get a lot of questions. It's pretty much the first thing that happens to you is you enter this interrogation. They'll be like, oh, hey, like, was it something growing up? Was it something with your family? And for me, it was something growing up. It was actually right when I was born. Back in the day, they used to have these things, and they're called sugar tits. Don't laugh. Now, what a sugar tit is it's a little piece of cloth, okay? And you take it, and you dip it in whiskey, and then you dip it in sugar, and then you put it in the baby's mouth. Hi. And what this does is it gets the baby nice and drunk, okay? And it makes them docile enough that you can circumcise them. So all I can think is that the last time I got drunk, they stole a part of my penis. It's not my scene. And it gets scarier, you know, because, I mean, you have to consider that, I mean, they were willing to do this to a baby. I turned 25 a few months ago, and I'm afraid that, I mean, if I get drunk now, they might take everything. And that's not so bad, right? I mean, you're just perfectly smooth, free from any care in the world. You could just spend your days under a tree. You wouldn't even care about pussy, probably. But I actually want to discuss a kind of a darker path. What if they left me with, just the balls? Is that any way to live? I've been meaning to get into crowd work. The bus driver, he doesn't like when I do it. But you guys seem nice. So I've just got a couple questions. Excuse me, sir. What do you do for work? You drive for Uber? That's dope. And just like one more thing, do you think that you could ever love somebody who only has their balls? No? That's okay. That wasn't even invented. I don't know how long I'm doing. Do you know how long I'm doing? I love you. Let's get our host back up here.
All right, that was Sam Nelson, everybody. Thank you, Sam. Okay, next up we have Danny McCabe. Give it up for Danny, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Can y'all hear me okay? All right, awesome. Just doing a little fixture. Little thing about stand-up comics. We love to be in the spotlight. That's why y'all are here tonight. Woohoo, give it up for yourselves. Give it up for yourselves. Who's having a good time tonight? Any fun life events happening, you know? Any of you guys out here? No? My sister texted me today. She posted a picture of a Subaru, and she goes, I have some big news. And everyone in my like family was like, "Oh, that's great," And I sent some message that was like, "Hey, want you to know I'm your brother. I love you. I'm going to accept you for who you are." And little did I know, she had just got a new car. She was not coming out to us. If you wanted to, say you got a new car, get a Honda. Come on. That's a hetero car, all right? God damn. I don't know why this came to mind. Any of you guys been to a strip club? Yeah? This guy has. Do you like strip clubs? $30 maximum. What's that? Like eye contact? Okay. $30 buys you an hour and 30 minutes. That's fair. I feel like he stands in the back of the room, like, it's like he has to, like, do you put like $1 up through like the AC vent so it like rains down, from the top? Casually throw it? Okay. This guy must be really good at like disc golf or something. I fuck yeah, man. I gotta disagree. I actually don't like strip clubs, but I have a good reason why. Like, true. So like my first time at a strip club was like when I was in college, but like I went to college in West Virginia. So the problem was that my first strip club was in like the backwoods, right? And it didn't help that like the first time I went, I was going off of Molly. And the thing about that is this like, sometimes like when you have something that like can such elevate an experience, I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but sometimes like seeing something like that can almost become so overwhelming, it's depressing. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why am I so depressed? It was like, this woman has a mustache and a cigarette and is shaking in my face. And then I look over and there's like a bachelor party, right? But the guy brought his bride there. That's pretty crazy, right? Like, that's like the lady cuck chair right there, essentially. Right, guys? Yeah. And like the thing is this like, like I get it. Like, some people are cool. Like you don't know everybody's relationship. Maybe they're cool with that. But then like I had my second thoughts because then he would like whisper in her ear after like, throwing bills at the dancer, and then she would reach into her wallet and hand him more money. Okay, only I thought that was funny. That's just sad. We love sadness here. It's Richmond, right? Home of Edgar Allan Poe, the original sad boy. Yeah, we had that Frida Kahlo exhibit, I think Frida Kahlo would have loved VCU. Think about it. Bisexual, chronically ill artist. Boom! She is getting a tattoo of a fucking PBR can and seen every night at Three Monkeys for the rest of her life. Shit would have been different if RVA was in Mexico. I don't know. Whatever. But the the one thing I will say is, any of y'all were students at VCU, or any of y'all students at VCU? Okay. Are you guys current or not current? Current. Do y'all like it there? That wasn't a very like. She's like, yeah. She's like, the tuition was paid this month. I'll graduate in a year. What are you majoring in? Okay. So that's like something decent. I was like, I was in biology, so my life sucked. But like the thing that always like was like always threw me off about VCU was like they have like official furries and fursonas in their campus art. Like, no, like, you go to the bathroom and, like, like, any of y'all have, like, been to a university, right? Like, they'll have those posters there. It's, like, how to not catch syphilis, And, like, but the thing is, like, they're doing it with, like, non-binary rams with, like, somehow, like, very subtly drawn breasts to, like, incur the fact that they are femmes in some way. You know what I'm talking about? And, like, I don't know. COVID was weird for everybody, especially VCU. Cool, I'm venting about that. I've been hitting the gym recently. Any of you guys like to work out? Yeah, who doesn't? I've been going with my friend. His nickname is Badger. It's funny, speaking of furries. But like every time that he's like, no, I'm not gonna go to the gym today. You know, I'm too hungover. Blah 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 blah. I always send him like pictures of like DeviantArt furries that are like really fat of badgers. And I go, this is really you right now. Works every time. So yeah, if you ever have a friend who's ducking you out for the gym, I guess the new idea for that would just be put them into AI, but like make them like really big, and then you're like, hey, you're gonna see this in the mirror later, and it's like, yo, bro, didn't you like my prank, potty dysmorphia? That's not funny. Cool. I'm probably gonna have to kill myself after this. Hell yeah. I had a lady actually over the phone talk to me about like coping mechanisms for depression recently. But the craziest thing is that like it was a random number, right? So you guys get texts from like random numbers, right? Yeah, all the time. Like, have you ever gotten a text from a random number that actually was a real person? Yeah. Okay, so this was this. And so I just got a text. She's like, can I ask a favor? And I was like, naturally, I was like, who is this? And she's like, you don't know me. I was like, cool, already off to a great start. And she was talking about like, oh, well, I'm feeling real down, so I'm texting random numbers to see if you have any coping mechanisms for me. And like me, because I'm holding a mic in my hand right now and talking to you guys, like I think I'm really funny. So I just was like, well, normally I just keep the gun in my mouth and let fate decide. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, shit, that's not funny. That's what she said. And I was like, of course it's not funny. It's a coping mechanism. Cool. I'm so happy that Francine the cat is back. Yeah, Francine the cat. We love her. Our queen, right? Queen of this side of Richmond. I gotta say, it's really cool. I'm like a creator. I'm like an aspiring animator. I think I'm gonna write a story about Francine the cat and pitch it to Pixar. I think that'd be really sweet, about a cat who lost her way, and like through the love of a community, like brings her back, and she goes on this adventure. It's even so cool. Like I've gotten like down to the itty gritty details, like who's gonna voice who. Like so, I thought for Francine, no better voice than Aquafina. Damn, I woke up in a truck and I'm in a different state or something. I know what you're thinking. Whoa, he can't do that voice. But guys, calm down. She's an Asian woman. I just got back from a wedding recently. Any guys been to any weddings? It is wedding season. Yeah. Weddings are nice. Weddings are fun. I haven't been to a lot of them. For this one, it was like a destination wedding. Like we went to Florida. And like the only thing I know about like Florida is like meth heads and alligators, right? I feel like that's what most people know. And like I was so crazy because every time I was driving around, I was like trying to look around for them. But one of the craziest parts about this wedding is we were staying in the same hotel as the Turning Point USA conference. Yeah. So like you guys, if you're not familiar, like Charlie Kirk, you know. You guys know who I'm talking about? He had my hairline, said some bad things. Anyway, so yeah, there was like someone in the elevator, and like I don't know, like my soon, like at the time was soon to be brother-in-law. Well, so like there were some guys like dressed up, and I would go, "Oh, are you guys going to the wedding too?" And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. It was like, how do you know my sister? It's like, your sister's Erica Kirk? And I was like, no. I was like, my sister Emma. It's like, oh no, we're going to the one for her and JD Vance. All right, that's topical. If you guys didn't know that, cool. The other funny thing about weddings is like when you're staying out of town, like obviously like you guys stayed in hotels before, right? Okay, yeah, motel fans here. Motel fans, I get it. Yeah, I think like hotels are fun because like have you ever gone on vacation and like before you left you didn't like clean up your place, you like come back to like a really dirty place and you're like damn. And it's like that's how it was. It's like, a hotel, like they'll come in, they'll make the bed every day. It looks pretty nice. But I'm like, damn, how did some place that has like jizz all over the walls at some point, cleaner than my space now, that somehow has like no jizz on all of the stuff there? Isn't that sort of like a weird flip? Like, it's like, it looks clean, but if I was like, shine a black light, oh my God, like it would light up. But like, if you go back home, it's like, this is a disaster. But hey, you shine a black light on that walls, I haven't shot a single thing on there. All right? There's only a handprint from when I had one of those like sticky hand things and I shot it on the ceiling. As a kid, I did that on like my ceiling and I got it stuck up there until I was tall enough to grab it. It's a true story. It took like 4 years. Cool. What else do I got to say? Do you guys hear about Donald Trump and Bill Clinton? Crazy stuff, right? Crazy stuff. I think the craziest thing about it is like, so Bill Clinton's nickname was Bubba, right? That was my parents' nickname for me when I was a baby, was Bubba. And like now I'm like thinking to myself, it's just like, well, now everyone's going to associate with Bubba as like someone who Donald Trump would suck the dick of. And like, I just think about me as a baby and that kind of pairs up right? Because he's a pedophile. Cool. Not letting that one sick. But no, I've always had like a weird thing because like Bill Clinton is like how I remember getting to talk. Like, did anyone like when you were younger like give you the sex talk, about like how things happen, or did you guys like figure it out on your own? Figure that shit out. Okay. Well, my dad tried, right? And it all started when I was like 10 because there was like someone with like a anti-Bill Clinton or Clinton Foundation bumper sticker. And like I was like, Dad, why do people hate Bill Clinton? And he's like, well, son, when a man and a woman, you know the best. But the funny thing about that is like when he did sit me down initially, he's like, all right, I want you to tell like everything that like, say it out loud. So I'm like yelling off like curse words and body parts. I'm like, fuck, shit, titty, bitch, like penis, vagina, asshole. And it's like, and then, I was like a really dumb kid. So the kids at school told me like, you're not allowed to say the word pervert. And like, they were like, oh, well, there was one word that's like the worst one of all, and that was like the P word. And I think about that today because like if I was a kid right now, I feel like the kids would have tricked me into thinking the P word was P. Diddy. Yeah, I mean, it kind of has the same meaning. Words change over time, guys. Cool. Yeah, another weird thing about my dad. You guys ever have like any irrational fears? Do you have any friends with like any irrational fears out there? Like, you've ever known someone who has like a fear of like something stupid? All right, cool. That's how like my dad is. He has a irrational fear of frogs, right? What is fucking scary about a frog? Like, think about it. Like, and I was like, it like finally hit me one day. I was like, Dad, I have to ask, why are you so afraid of frogs? And he goes, well, I had a dream when I was younger that I kissed a girl, or I kissed a frog, and it turned into a girl, and she bit off my penis. I was like, okay, that's fair, because I had a dream where I kissed a frog and she turned into Rihanna, and my dick turned to jello and it fell off inside of her. And I'm like, now I have a fear of jello because I don't want to see it wiggle. I was actually not allowed, like I did not allow myself to eat jello for a long time because of that. Families are fun. You guys heard of that company, Edible Arrangements? Yeah. I saw the craziest commercial for it, okay? The craziest commercial. Sorry. So there was like a couple, right, in this commercial, and they took a DNA test, and they were basically found out that they had like a great-grandfather in common, which meant that they were like accidentally related. And that was it. That's the commercial. And I think that's really crazy because, like, I've always known Edible Arrangements is a good company. You know, I mean, like, their fruits are all naturally grown. They don't even use a drop of incesticide. I know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was actually, and then, you know, I was wondering, it was like, why am I seeing this commercial? And I have like one of those smart TVs, right? So I found out that I was actually using the Hulu password of Leaf, which is why, you know, the whole incest thing was being marketed to. All right, callback. We don't, yeah. That's what we call a callback, guys. A callback. They're fun. They're fun. Oh my gosh. Are we happy that Governor Spanberger won? Absolutely, absolutely. I do think it's good that Winsome Earl Sears lost, mostly because I don't think she's cut out for politics. I think that she has really good theater kid energy. I am speaking! I am speaking! But she lost, you know? So it's like now, like, I kind of just don't hope to see her, like, on the streets of Richmond, you know, hitting hard times. I am tweaking! I am tweaking! That would be tough, you know, seeing Winsome Earl Sears outside of Cobra Cabana. Asking for $1. But that's okay. That's why I DoorDash. I'm a DoorDash user and a DoorDash. You guys use like delivery, right? Like everyone's done it. Come on, don't lie. It's so busy. I get like 50 orders a night. All right, I know you all are DoorDashing. I heard this story about DoorDash recently about this this driver, right? And they were dropping it off, and the door was cracked, and they entered the home of the person they were dropping off. And I think the guy who ordered it was passed out on his couch with his dick out, right? And it was posted online, and the driver got banned, and it was like a whole controversy. And that's got me scared, you know? That's got me scared. Because like when I was a DoorDash driver, like, you know, you're not allowed to enter someone's house as like a DoorDash driver. But like, I'm afraid, like, even when I was like in bad, you know, places where there were like needles on the ground, I'm like, I can't step there. Someone grew that grass, you know? Like, I guess I'm too much of a bitch that way. But no, the crazy thing about it is, like, you know, I think about like delivery. Like, what if that had happened to me? You know, because like, who lives alone out here, right? None of y'all live alone? Okay. Yeah, you live alone, all right. Like, you know, sometimes I know no one's here. My door is locked. Windows are shut. You know, clothing is optional, right? Come on, guys. Clothing is optional. And, like, you know, I thought I was safe one time I was ordering food. You know, I like to eat, like, hot ramen broth, like, you know, naked. Sue me, all right? It's fun. You try it. Coconut curry broth all over your body. And dim sum, you know. Hell yeah, they're closing today. R.I.P. And dim sum. But yeah, no. So you know, at one time I got the notification that it was delivered, and I wasn't thinking enough. So like I reached outside my door, and like I'm like reaching out, and you know I'm trying to grab the food. So like in case someone was to open their door, like they wouldn't see me. And then, like, out of the corner of my eye, like, I see someone there, right? And, like, he's holding his phone up. And, like, you know, I dash behind the door. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I got the picture notification. It was like, did you need to take the picture for the app? And he's just sitting there smiling. He's like, yeah, what app? So, like, that's sort of one thing I fear is, like, you know, people know that I'm living alone and naked. And they're trying to get pictures of it when I grab my, you know, ramen. Okay, cool. That's all right. Before I was a Dasher and DoorDash, had money to DoorDash, I used to work in coastal research with the university, actually. I I think what's crazy is that like if you don't believe it now, like coastlines are coming in, right? Like it's getting very serious, and but we needed a control for the experiment, right? So like we need to see how far these coastlines were receding, and like what else is gonna like recede at like a standard rate. So we used my hairline, and you wanna know what we found? 5 years, this coastline is going to go in 200 yards, and it's directly correlated with me having to wear a hat full time. It's crazy stuff. Me with an active HIMS account that's not working, that's the real inconvenient truth, people. Cool. We use the dating apps out here, guys. Any y'all single? I know some of you are. Don't do that. All right, don't do that to me. All right, whatever. I use the dating apps. I don't take them seriously. I don't take them seriously at all. It's mostly just because like I like to do those voice prompts that they have on like Hinge and stuff, and like I try and work on like my impressions too. I have this like one skit that I like to do where it's like Kermit and Miss Piggy, but they're like getting real experimental in the bedroom. I call it Miss Peggy. Here it goes. Oh, Kermie! The strap-on came in the mail today. I don't know about this, Piggy. Come here, frog! Like, that shit. It gets you some likes. It gets you some likes. One time I did match up with someone. And it was like she kind of wanted like some hookup situation. I was like, score, But like, think about like things here is like people get freaky way too fast. Freaky way too fast, guys. Like they really do. Like they don't ask. They just get right down to it. It's like nuts. No prompting whatsoever. So I like get to her house. She like pulls me inside to her living room, throws me down on the couch, gets on top of me, and then she whispers in my ear. She goes, "I'm gonna call you Daddy." And I was like, it's Danny. Daddy is my father. All right, guys, my name's been Danny McCabe. Thank you all so much for putting up with me, and I'm gonna hand it back to your lovely host.
Thank you, Danny. All right, really quick, I just want to get a general vibe check. Can I get a little woo? How are we feeling? Awesome. All right, last but definitely not least, we have Blake Carlson. Everybody, give it up for Blake.
Thank you. One more time for this lovely venue. This is just so fun. Such a cool. I didn't go to a lot of shows in college, but this is what I imagine they were like. Where's the receiver over there? I'm used to giving. I'm not used to receiving, so I just have to. Okay, you might recognize me from the audience. I'm the white guy from Nova who knows what pegging is and has been to Build-A-Bear recently. Thank you. Talk about stuffing. Am I right? And whenever people hear that I'm from Nova, they always make the same assumption. They're like, "Oh, your parents are rich," right? And it's not fucking true. Okay, my parents are not rich. They're well-to-do. And there is a difference. I went to McDonald's today, and it was I don't know. It's weird. The people that kind of work there, they'll say whatever they want to you. I pull up to the window, I order, and then I pull up to pay, and the first thing the guy says is, "Whoa, you look like Kurt Cobain." And it's nice. It's flattering. I think Kurt Cobain is kind of a handsome guy, but I can't really take the compliment the way it was meant to be taken, because I feel like I'm like if Kurt Cobain went to private school, I'm like if Kurt Cobain Googled how to skateboard, I think. I'm like if Kurt Cobain spelled Kurt with a C, Hi, how you doing? Curtis Cobain. Nice to meet you. I love the phrase "baby on board." I do. I drive around and I see it all the time. I fucking love the phrase. I love it so much I've started using the phrase "baby on board" in my everyday life. But like when I agree with something, Like you want to take shots at 11 a.m.? Baby on board. All right. You got a hooker for my birthday party? Baby on board, dude. Appreciate it. Look at her, too. Perky little... Oh, I'm sorry. Hooker's kind of an offensive term. You would rather I refer to you as a sex worker. Baby on board. I apologize. Okay. I'm going to remember that. I'm learning. I'm growing. Driving around, too, I fucking hate vanity license plates. I don't know if I know this guy has a vanity license plate, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's more specifically, I think you're fine, but more specifically, like joggers with vanity license plates is what pisses me off. And you've seen them around too. They're always like, KT runs, runner for life. Get out of the car. You know? You got a bumper sticker that says, my other ride is my two dirty little feet. So either prove it, or get back in the Jetta and shut the fuck up, KT. This is I-95. No one's jogging anywhere. The Richmond Marathon is over. Woo, did someone run in the Richmond Marathon today? No, just wooing for the concept. You're glad it's over. Me too. Driving's always such a bitch during the Richmond Marathon. And the half. You know what? Driving's a bitch any day in Richmond. It really is. And parking's even worse. Woo woo! Oh. I was going to say ACAB, but they're going to save someone's life, so. That's, all ambulances are angels. That's, ah! I'm going to start taking down missing cat posters. I think I have to, because no one else will. They just won't. Like, I've been looking at the same missing cat poster outside my laundromat for 6 months, okay? He's home. Or he's, like, living out a Pixar short somewhere. I don't know. But and I get it, okay? You're happy your cat's home. You're not going to go around taking down all the posters. But the posters are still there. And here's the important part. I'm still looking. Okay? I'm looking for 13 cats right now. And I'm starting to freak out because I can't find these guys anywhere. It's getting really troubling. It really is. And it's like, whatever. Maybe it's fine. But I think at the very least, they need an expiration date, okay? At the very least. Just like, have you seen Cheddar? Last seen on Marshall in Jackson Ward. If not found by January 1st, 2026, just forget about it. Just let Francine be. Just let her be, damn it! I actually read recently, pretty interesting, that pregnancy health is a recent study that shows that pregnancy health is actually tied to the health of the sperm as it meets the egg, which means, interestingly enough, that if the sperm donor, let's say, on the night of conception is like drinking and smoking, that means the baby is going to turn out really cool. Really dope. And I'm actually a twin. I have a twin brother, and it just so happens that on the night of conception, my dad took half a Xanax. And I like to think that I'm the Xanax half, you know? Because I'm a chill guy. And my brother could use a Xanax. He really could. I like learning a lot of new stuff. I'm a lifelong learner, which is why I pick up the paper sometimes. And I was reading in this Thursday's edition of the New York Times that they stopped minting the penny. You probably heard this on the internet too. It's not just in the newspaper. They do the news everywhere now. It's pretty cool. But I read in the newspaper they stopped minting the penny, which I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because they said they stopped minting the penny to prevent unnecessary deaths at the foot of the Empire State Building, which is fun. In reality, though, they stopped doing it because it was just not cost effective. Okay, they stopped minting the penny because it just wasn't worth the money and the effort to produce. And I say the same shit about having kids, you know. And I'm thinking that if we just stop having kids, maybe my value will go up. And that's really what I'm hoping for. I don't know, they stopped making the penny. It's kind of fucked up. Like, if I was a nickel, I'd be sweating right now. Like, where does it stop, you know? Like, first they started with the penny, and I said nothing because I was not a penny. And then they came after the nickel, and I said nothing because I was not a nickel. Where does the buck stop, everybody? Someone clap? Okay, thank you. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like a cool guy, I guess. Like I'm even keel. I'm fine. Like I read the newspaper. I'm basically a grandpa, I think. I'm like the kind of guy that spends a nice night to himself and calls it a mevening. That's Blake. Right? Kind of embarrassing. And my friends are always trying to get me to come out. They're like, come on, shoot some pool, throw some darts, get drunk. And I'm like, I can't. I got a mevening, all right? And they're like, what about tomorrow night? And I'm like, I should have mentioned it. It's actually a full weekend. I'm sorry. Yeah, tonight I'm watching Labyrinth, and tomorrow I'm making a puppet. I'm booked. That's just the kind of guy I am, you know? And I think part of the reason I am this way is I grew up small. I was like a small kid to the point where, like, when I was in high school, my parents considered putting me on HGH. For real. Like, I went to a doctor to talk about putting me on human growth hormone. Because when I was in high school, I was in the 99th percentile for height and weight, which means if you put me in a room with 99 other high schoolers, none of those 99 kids would have played Tiny Tim twice but me. And I don't know, I've always just been kind of small, and I feel like I grew up, I'm the youngest of three, so I've always had that sort of little brother energy, I think, and it carries over into my adult life. I'm 25, but I talk to 30-year-olds, and they treat me like I'm a fucking kid. Like, I was talking to this guy once at this open mic, and I told him that I was afraid of dying in a plane crash, and he goes, you are so naive. Which is fucking ridiculous. It's not, like, planes do crash, but they also go missing. They go missing all the time. I mean, there's like Malaysian Flight 370, Amelia Earhart, ABC's Lost. Like, it happens all the time, every single day. And just one fucking time, I want to turn on the news and see that a plane just appears. You know? Just a random 737 lands at Richmond International, and like 200 people that nobody have ever seen before walk off onto the tarmac. I don't know. I feel like we got to stop forcing women to get pregnant, you know? Absolutely. Like, if we want more people, we should just make some up, right? It's about as... Hello? There we go. I really like that I can't say the N-word. I do. Yeah. Because I love rules, you know? And black people. Switch those, actually. Flip those, too. I do. Because I feel like a lot of white people's argument to, like, want to say the N-word is, like, so they can sing along, I think, to primarily rap. Like, white people want to sing along to gangsta rap. But can I just say that singing along, it's not very gangster. And I would know, you know? I'm white, but I'm not evil. Let's get that right. Let's get that squared away. Like, I will ask my black friends questions. I have black friends. And I'll ask them questions pretty frequently, and they say the same thing. They go, Blake, you got to do your own research, all right? Like, it's not our job to educate you. And that makes perfect sense, okay? That definitely clicks. But then I'll go to my girlfriends for, like, hair care advice. And they say the same shit to me. They're like, Blake, you got to do your own research. It is not our job to educate you. And I think it's ridiculous because I think everyone is just avoiding the question. Because the answer really would have been as simple as, I would not look good with dreadlocks. And I did the research. And I did not look good with dreadlocks. AI is a powerful tool, you guys. You can type anything in there. I don't look good with a mohawk either. Okay, here we go. This is a country version of Will I Am, all right? Let me embody this real quick. A country version of Will I Am. Well, I'll be. That's that whole joke. Okay, all right, now that I've started my impressions, here's another impression. Here's an impression of a guy at the altar who is going to Munchausen by proxy his a guy at the altar who's going to Munchausen by proxy his wife. In sickness and in what? Anyone have like a? There's really no good way to get into this. Is there anyone have like an heirloom, a family heirloom they got when their like grandparents or parents passed away? They got kind of passed down to them, any kind of jewelry or a clock. No, I'm glad everyone is either in good health or I'm sorry. But I was playing Scrabble with my parents a couple weeks ago. I was back home and I was playing Scrabble, and I won the game of Scrabble. And I don't say that to brag, okay? I play for the love of language. But I did win this game of Scrabble. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I love Scrabble. And as soon as I won, my mom, she takes a Sharpie, she turns over the bottom of the box, and she writes my name in big letters. She writes Blake Carlson, and she says, when we go, this is yours. And it's like, okay, all right. It's good to know I'm getting the family Scrabble board. I would rather take the house or the car, but I'll take 10 points on the letter Z, I guess. But I was like, what if this is my mom trying to tell me something? What if this is her way of communicating something to me, some kind of maternal son bond that only we have? And I start thinking about it, and I'm like, what if, when my parents die in, God forbid, like 100 years? And I'm so upset about it. I'm super torn up. I'm crying. They were so young! And I've got the Scrabble board out in front of me because it's the only thing they left to me. And I'm missing them. I'm thinking about them. I'm rearranging the tiles to form their names. I'm writing their names in the tiles, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I take those numbers on their names, and it's the key to my dad's safe. And I open up my dad's safe very carefully, and inside is 4 Yahtzee dice. And then those numbers, very carefully, I study those numbers. Those numbers lead me to a storage unit in Buffalo. And I open up the storage unit. And I'm walking all the way to the back of the storage unit. Okay, I'm walking all the way to the back, and I step on a mouse trap. It's just a regular mouse trap. Thank God. And I get all the way to the back, okay, of the storage unit. In front of this like wood-paneled wall, right, is a trouble board. And I press very carefully on the trouble bubble. And it pops. It goes, or whatever. And the wood panels, they all start to shake. And they fall all together. It was a Jenga piece. They were Jenga pieces the whole time. And behind this wood-paneled wall that were Jenga pieces the whole time, mind you, is $550,000 in Monopoly money. And a note at my feet that just says, sorry! That's life. I played Ultimate Frisbee in college because I'm white and they kind of make you. They really hassle you at the club fair. They're like, hey, come here. Do this for 3 semesters and hate yourself. I don't know. I'm not the most athletic guy, but it was fun. I made a lot of friends, met a lot of people. We went to Myrtle Beach my freshman year for spring break, or spring break, as I like to call it. And it was cool getting to know everybody, just getting drunk every day, smoking every day, sort of bonding. And at the very end of the week, one of the guys from the Frisbee team, he comes up to me and he goes, hey, Blake, we've been watching you on the beach, no top. You're pretty bony. You're pretty bony, brother. And we were talking, me and some of the other guys. Would it be cool if we took body shots out of your collarbone? Which is a crazy thing to ask someone. An 18-year-old boy. And I really had to think about it, too, because no one's ever asked me that before. So I really mulled it over. I'll get back to you. And then I found him later, a couple hours later, and I was like, you know what, Jesse? Baby on board. Let's fucking do this thing. Let's ride. All right, I've been Blake Carlson. You guys have been awesome. Thank you to the Madhouse for having me. And give it up for all the comments you saw earlier tonight. This was honestly such an amazing day. So, yeah. And give it up for a host and then too. Cool.
All right, give it up for Blake one more time, guys. Woo! Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to all of our 2 people besides the comic. I hope you guys had a good time. Hope you guys had a giggle, a little laugh. Yeah, I will hope to see you guys next time. And if you have any trash, please throw it away in the trash cans. Have a great evening. Feel free to hang out, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Thank you to the Madhouse again, of course. And thank you to RV8.4. And yeah, be safe and have a good evening, everyone. Thank you.